Disney and Lucasfilm Games recently released a retro darling, but is it worth your hard-earned cash? Stick around and find out.
I got a nice new debit card right here.
Nice. Hey, that's my debit card.
Spending spree!
Hey, you didn't earn that! The year was 1993, and it was the beginning of the end for the 16-bit console wars as the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn were looming over the horizon.
The happy's doing.
And LucasArts, now known as Lucasfilm Games ever since everything George Lucas was purchased by Disney, were at the top of their game, having already released 2 huge hits for the SNES.
Theirs is a sad story.
And with the clock now ticking on the 16-bit gaming era, it would make sense for them to grab their magical game genie and rub out a good one.
What are you talking about, Dave?
I'm talking about a 16-bit cult classic and its sequel, which were recently released on multiple platforms.
Zombies ate my neighbors.
So we're talking past tense?
I guess. Why?
I mean, if it already happened, then why are we playing a game about it?
Just stop. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is an isometric run-and-gun developed by LucasArts, originally published by Konami and released for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis in 1993. In the game, your objective is to fight through hordes of monsters to save a preset number of victims, or, in other words, your neighbors.
Wait, why the hell would I want to save Bob? Bastard never gave my grill back. He still got it right up now!
Yeah, screw you, Bob!
You
To save your seemingly oblivious neighbors, you'll choose either Monster Hunter Zeke or Julie, or both in 2-player mode and get to work.
Why is the blonde kid wearing old-school 3D glasses?
I think it's a wink and a nod to classic horror movies, which in one decade were often released in that type of 3D.
Oh, I was thinking he must like having headaches all the time. But Julie has the right idea. If there's going to be a splatterfest, you do best with a hat and a jacket. Very sensible.
Right. Neither has any special ability which separates them apart. They both control the same, so choosing one over the other simply comes down to your preference. The victims you have to save are a funny little bunch. They're caricatures of people players of the game see every day. The grumpy battle axe teacher who has strangely red eyes.
The kids say her car smells funny.
Cheerleaders, tourists, soldiers, babies, and even the guy on an inner tube who'll just kind of float anywhere, I guess. To reach the next level, you collect them one by one, and you get a helpful little radar to locate them, which you can turn on and off. But try not to waste any time, because if any of the usually randomly generating monsters reach them, they're toast. Now, it's not game over if you don't save any of them, really. You just don't get a very high score at the end of the level, and you should also feel bad.
Wait, why are they just standing there? Don't they know their entire world is coming apart?
Oh, my guess is that either the game designers didn't have the room or the ability to put that in, or they put it in and it wasn't fun, or... I'm going out on a limb here and thinking that maybe they were just paying homage to end-of-the-world movies where a bunch of people are convinced that nothing bad is happening while everything bad is happening.
Art imitating life.
The monsters in the game are, of course, the star of the show. Most are based on classic monster films like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Wolfman, The Mummy, while a few are based on more modern takes like Child's Play, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Friday the 13th.
Those last 3 movies came out more than 30 years ago. They're not that much. You can take your hands off my neck now,
A really neat little aspect some of the monsters have are their weaknesses. Fire extinguishers freeze blobs, just like in the movie. Silverware kills werewolves, like Silver does. And the Jason monsters are nigh indestructible. It's funny because if you go into the game knowing a lot about horror films, it actually helps you.
One weakness struck me as odd, though.
What's that?
Why does throwing cans of soda at killer dolls instantly destroy them? I don't recall anyone hucking a can of Mountain Dew at Chucky in the movies.
Maybe it's an inside joke of some kind, but since you mentioned it, this game is full of different weapons to beat back Dr. Tongue's army of horrors. You start out with water guns full of what I'm pretty sure is holy water or something more poisonous like Dasani, and you only have a set amount of ammo, so you have to be careful not to run around wasting it. But it almost doesn't matter because the game gives you tons of side weapons like the aforementioned silverware, bazookas, and the, for some reason, crazy powerful weed whacker.
Look at that crazy chick. Mowing down mummies like a crazy chick.
There's also a bevy of support items as well. Like the med kit to replenish lost health, of course. You can distract monsters by making them punch the clown, and a couple of potions. One of which can turn you into the Purple Hulk.
Hey, that looks just like my uncle who once wrestled the Bastion Booger.
Whoa, your uncle sounds awesome.
Not really. we don't talk about them that much.
How many levels do you think this game has?
I don't know.
I'll give you a choice.
A, 15, B, 25, or C, 35.
That's easy. It's obviously 35.
Wrong!
48 levels up in this piece!
That's 48 reasons to spend time blasting monsters and saving your neighbors by yourself or with a friend.
And just in case you happen to have one.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors also has a 2-player mode. It's everything you get in the single-player mode except with another person.
Huh, you don't say.
Take note, however, the screen doesn't split when you get too far away from each other. You're confined to the space you're in, so proper coordination is important. Weapon and item caches are designed for 2 players throughout the game. That includes single player, so while on your own you'll be stocked up with lethal weaponry pretty much all the time, you'll need to divvy up your ammo and keep note of who's carrying what if you want to survive in 2-player.
Now, with this recent release being a 2-pack, we'd be wrong not to mention the sequel that comes in the collection. But we're going to keep it a little bit more brief because it's not a bad game, but it's just not as good as the first one.
Ghoul Patrol was the sequel to Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Released in 1994, it's a similar game to the first, except this time instead of pitting you against scores of movie monsters, Ghoul Patrol feels more like a take on Ghostbusters than an homage to horror films.
Well, that's not bad.
It's not, but they had a good theme going. There's no reason the sequel couldn't have added other movie monsters like the Cenobites from Hellraiser, a play on Michael Myers from Halloween, The Thing even. It also doesn't help that the controls just feel more sluggish compared to the first one. With a slide maneuver and a jump, which I'm sure seemed like a good idea on paper, they don't really help all that much and more or less just lead you into slamming into an oncoming enemy, at least in my experience. They ditched the radar option to add the jump and slide, leaving you to find victims by following their cries for help in a game of hot and cold.
All that being said, Ghoul Patrol is fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, it's more fun when you're playing with another player. Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol is currently available for PC, Xbox, PS4, and Nintendo Switch, which is the version I personally recommend.
Yeah,
available for $14.99. And if you enjoyed the game as a kid like me, or if you have any interest in classic gaming, you'd really be missing out if you pass this one up.
Especially if you skip it on sale.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like this video was an easy one this time around.
Yeah. Usually something crazy happens and we're left feeling sorry we were ever born.
I guess we got lucky.